Morning, people. I never get that right. I'm feeling a bit better today, I think. I got a lot of sleep yesterday. And bread and jam. I can have some nice brekkie. And I got food from Mumsy's in a package. She got me plantain crisps, just so good. I never know how much I like them until I have them again. And lemon tea and some workout gloves for my hands for when we do work out at the gym, because we do a lot of bar work and sometimes it's just like it'll get me blisters. I've done some writing in the morning because essentially I want to do more writing. My goal is to do a little bit every day. So I'm doing that. And now I'm going on to read some talk. I did some cases yesterday. I've accepted the fact that I will not read everything on that reading list because there's a lot. I'll just do as much as I can before moving on to criminal, because we have an essay for criminal and I was not on the mailing list, so my friend had to forward them all to me. So I didn't know about, well, I knew there was going to be an essay, but I thought she just forgot to email us. Nope, just me. I don't know why I'm always left out of the loop. But anyway, I need to get back to work. I'm using the like plain paper method, which you might have seen on my gram. I'll show you. I have this plain paper and then I will just make some lines, and let's see if I can show you any examples. So these are my case documents. So I will have the plain paper and I'll make the heading. I'll put the date that the case actually occurred and the date that the court actually decided it, because they're mostly all the time different. And then I just split the page up into the facts of the case, the issue, the points of interest, any like things said that weren't exactly like the reasoning but are interesting, what was held. Sometimes it's just like one line, but sometimes you can expand it a bit more. And yeah, the ratio, so what was the actual thing that was decided, what was the law that was set into place. And this is what I do for cases. I'll split it up like that. For me notes, let's find it. I love these folders, but they don't like to stay open. I'm gonna do this, which I totally got from Holly Gabriella in her video on how she studies, like her photographic memory or whatever. And she said that she writes in like plain paper, and I was like, what? But it's actually quite helpful. But I don't like that. I don't like plain paper entirely because I can't write straight. The lines wobble, and that hurts me a lot. So I'm gonna have to find something to do about that. I have a few ideas, but we'll see. But I'll break it up as well, but this time I only have like three sections, whereas she has 4. And I have the heading, any like key information or things that I might need to, like abbreviations that I don't know and stuff like that, and then the bulk of information here. And I might neaten it up as I go along. I might like add colours and ting, but this is actually very helpful to me right now, and hopefully once I get like coloured paper it will be even better. That's what I'm going to be doing at the moment. That's how I'm going to be doing my notes. I find that this is really helping me. Like, I wanted to do them online, but I don't have like all of the equipment that I want. Like, I don't have Word on my little mini like notebook, and it's got like no space. My supervisor told me you can get Office for free if you're a student, which helps me so much. I need to clear space on my little tiny little laptop before I can do that. In the meantime, writing it out as well, like by hand, helps me remember things a bit better than just typing it. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I realised that back there, like where I come out around the back, that's the back of our staircases. It's pretty neat. College cat. Well, one of them. Hello, Siamese. I will go round the back way of college today and see if I can get into my staircase that way. They'll probably take me to the basement though, which is a lot of stairs. It's basically the same amount, but just in large concentration. Let's see how I do. No! Can't be locked. Yes, it can. I can only open it from the other side. Wasted journey. Yes, Lord, and oh snap. I knew it. I felt one of my earrings drop. I'm running so late. I was meant to have met my friend already at the Porter's Lodge. Where did you? There it is. Just stuffed everything in my purse because I didn't want to bring a bag. Everything is sort of cleaned up. Time to go.
She is the spoken word youth champion multiple times in the city of Toronto, as well as my little sister.
I can't see anything either, I'm so short.
Hi everybody, how's everybody doing?
Alright, not hungry.
Excuse me, so I'm going to perform a few poems, if that's okay? Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Wonderful, okay. So the first poem that I'm going to perform is called Black Magic, and I think most of us, how many of us actually go to Cambridge? Okay, Black Excellence.
You know, this is
So the first poem is called Black Magic, and I think a lot of us can relate to it. It's kind of about being, especially a Black woman in academic spaces where you don't feel like you really fit. So here we go. My father always wanted a scholar. I've always been more magician. At a young age, I was trained on how quickly I could disappear. Come, witness how abruptly I could find myself forgotten. A disappearing act to marvel at. I slip out of memory the way one adorns an aftertaste, lingering and bitter. Step one to vanishing. Make sure people want you gone. Assure yourself that your nuisance-laced existence has always been more caricature than character. See, I mastered this step at the beginning of university, a place to learn about everything but yourself. These textbooks have branded me an afterthought, taught me that international relations really means my wayward existence in relation to them. Maybe my story just speaks in tongues too complex to translate into a course list. My sister called this place an old boys club, where tradition is scattered through hallways like ash, like dust, and the only tools I was intended to have were for cleaning it up. It's funny that I wasn't deemed foreign when I was paying down debt to grow your green. I guess that's why it's called an ivy. While I wait for it to trickle back down like an IV, I get it. Deny them of their history. Maybe their significance will fade away with it. My father always wanted a scholar. I've always been more magician. Step 2, shape-shifting. Black girls are quick to become docile bodies. Furious Styles told me he wants us to kill ourselves, and sometimes I believe him. Sometimes I believe I'm only valuable in the repositioning of limbs, when I'm popping something, when I'm twerking something. Come, witness how well I can contort myself from woman to fantasy and then join in. See how permeable I am, how this hair can be straightened, how this burden of opinion can be stripped from my tongue. I can change for you, I can shift for you. I'm a cursed double entendre. I fade in accommodation the way a translated quote isn't really a quote anymore. Sometimes these parts of me collide and I bend to meld them together securely. I'm a walking adhesive in the presence of things that like to fall apart at my palms. My father always wanted a scholar. I've always been more magician. So get closer. Gaze at the reluctant illusionist whose magic comes with confusion, whose conjuring beckons light. We may be bound to our alchemy, but the women of my shade cannot be made in etch-a-sketch. You cannot summon us with your fingers. You cannot shake me and wish me gone. We are not mutilated, man. We are the embodiment of enchantment, a charm book to unravel. So maybe that's why they called us tricks in the first place. The way these palms give redefinition to the term black magic, like a sleight of hand, like an uncontainable sorcery. My father always wanted a scholar. I've always been more magician. So come, attest to this remarkable ability. Come and witness black magic in form. What's killing us is simultaneously holding us together. When broken is the only way you recognize yourself, when a knife is the only thing keeping your body intact, like blade and blood, like a dance of metal and rust in my home, language always undoes. Italian always poison. Poison and skin that ain't yours and won't shed. My mother studied architecture in Italy. At age 7, I refused her help with my homework, told her, "Mommy, you won't understand. Somali women just aren't educated." At that moment, the English sentence was the one thing she could never build. My father's accent is untraceable, a concoction of languages swallowed and languages force-fed. My father's accent is a live autopsy, a constant retelling of everything that went wrong. He hasn't been home in 21 years. He says flying a plane is the last time he felt human. Human cells become anew every 7 years. By this calculation, 3 different ghosts have inhabited my father's body. I know them well. A younger me wondered why my lips were this full, why they were both brown and pink, how each color collided like a jagged wave receding on a shore. When I stopped biting them, they bloomed like orchids in season. Then I learned black bodies only stay in fashion for a season, that I too would be picked at the roots, brown bodies harvested at the root, and watch how they mow. Watch how you are peeled and sampled, always strange fruit, always lynched in public and copied in silence, hung on display but never called art. This is what it means to be pathologized. This is what it means to be born into shame. But how do you undo? When all you've ever known is shame, how do you unlearn what they've taught you to become? The process of decolonization, or how to remove poison after you've already swallowed it. I always thought this act was like removing a stain from cloth, to scrub until there's nothing left, but maybe it's diluting a salt in water. Maybe we're the water. Maybe we must add more of ourselves, always and everywhere, until the memory of shame dissolves. I speak Somali like defiance, like a toxic cell that refuses to divide. In our fullest existence, we unlearn the impression of fist against flesh. Thank you.
Now you all know why she's the favorite daughter. Thank you so much for coming. The reception is now over. We'll now be proceeding into the hall for dinner.
You're teaching me. I get the candles. Get the white men in the background for Black History Month. You know you've got to get that history. I get these napkins, these cute little napkins. Oh, it's fine. Try again.
The way you stopped it, just leave her, but then she was like kind of late, so
that was me. I was late. Oh, okay. What is the menu saying?
I thought it was going to start at 7 o'clock.
Same. I thought they were gonna like actually feed us at 7, but no.
Was it rude to start eating now?
No, I'm hungry. Oh, wait.
Wait, let me take a picture and say,
Flowers. I wish I had a drone and I could just like project it over the room and show where all of the people, how many people are in here. And this isn't even everyone. It's amazing.
And I've been working very hard with a lot of you to, come to this day, to celebrate ourselves, to celebrate our achievements, to celebrate that we're here, and I'm so happy that we managed to get together. So, welcome to our third Black Cantons dinner. That we started with this tradition that I hope it goes on for a long time. So now I give you the president of the Black Canton Society.
So, my name is Sarah Mohammed, and I am the president of the Black Cantons Research Society. I just wanted to take this opportunity to remember where we are. On June 22nd, 1948, the former German cruise liner Empire Windrush arrived in the United Kingdom carrying 492 passengers from the West Indies. And the journey of these BME colleagues in British society is not an easy one. They face overt racism, discrimination, public outcry, and that continued for decades. It's important to also note that in addition to the 70th anniversary of Windrush, this is also the 70th anniversary of the first Black woman to study at Cambridge, Gloria Comer. It's the chance to say, all of us, with a single voice, that Cambridge is ours. In fact, this is our space too.
Hi, I'm Tony, president of the African Caribbean It's a really poignant time to be black at Cambridge and to really celebrate the diverse histories that we all have, the cultures that we can see on display, the different fabrics in the room are beautiful, and really just to ensure that everyone enjoys the dinner and to celebrate what we've done so far and to continually push forward with the vision that we all share. Thank you.
Food time?
I think the lighting is not well. There we go. That is so nice. What is this again? Baked quince, wobbly bottom goat cheese, hazelnuts, charred leek, and a fig.
Melissa actually went to Cambridge. She's a Black Cow. She did her MPhil in planning, growth, and regeneration from Cambridge. She's fluent in English, Yoruba, French, Spanish, and Italian.
Look at you.
Yeah. And she gave a TED talk called "Our African Citizens of the World." It's a TEDx talk which I highly recommend to watch. She also appeared in Vogue in September 9, 2016 article entitled "This is what bold style really looks like." So take a look at what bold style really looks like. Thank you so much for being here.
We decided to create a consultancy called Cross Culture Creative. Our mission was to, and is to, allow for businesses and for corporations entering the African market to do so with a thoughtful approach. Traveling the world as an African has sometimes been challenging, and I talk about this in the TEDx talk that I gave. I won't go into too much detail. I think there's something fundamentally wrong in a decolonized African country giving UK citizen access to that country visa-free and requiring another African country to go through a grueling visa application process and to submit documents on documents on documents just to prove that they're a legitimate person.
Okay. I had tofu there for the first time and it was great, but yeah, it's not always nice. It's Is yours tofu as well? No, yours is double baked polenta. And you guys got the meat. We said fruit salad, and here we have fruit salad because nuts and vegan are a bit difficult to accommodate. It's actually cold. Why is it feel on the seaside? Finally back, and my feet hurt. And I walk back to college and I see one of my friends from college and she's like, "Oh, come out with us." I'm like, "No." But I went out with them anyway. And it was a dancing night at Spoons. But it was a really good night. And it was fun to just talk to some of my friends I haven't seen in a while and just bond with them. Oh, and like about the dinner again, like we had servers and they would address you. They would say, "Madam, would you like some wine, madam? Which wine would you like?" And it's really nice.